Hello and welcome back to my channel. This is part 25B where we're continuing making a hamburger in our Let's Get Cooking series where we investigate cooking mechanics in games. In the last episode we successfully managed to take our burger buns and our burgers out the bulk packs and split our bun into two. Today we're going to actually make the burger, which is very similar to what we did a few episodes ago where we made the sandwich. Just one little thing that I did though, I came around doing some testing on here to make sure everything was right. I did it in my test project, but I forgot to put it in here. If we open up our bread for our sandwich on our overlap, where we got it here, where it fails this can continue, we've added a comment. You need to add this reset adding ingredient, which is this, because if you do not add that, what will happen is if you've accidentally picked up the wrong ingredient, dropped it on, it will get to here, this will not get reset, so none of this code will ever run again while that's on the board. So it's important that you at least allow it to continue. Okay, so make sure you add that. And like I said last time, when you're making up your blueprints and we partway in the game do something that's very similar, copy something that's similar. So when I did the bun bottom, I copied the same one, but you notice here is something missing. In the bread, we've got all this applied spreadable code. We don't need that. Okay, we can, in our bun bottom, we can delete that. I also deleted, looking at BP bread, we've got layer 1 and layer 2. Yeah, we don't need them in the bun bottom. Okay, so in the bun bottom, we've just got the same code as our bread. We're going to do a small change, but first we just need to make sure that in our BPP ingredients, we have actually filled out one of the interface rules, which is this one, has been cooked or burned. Okay, from there you need to get your has been cooked and has been burned variables into there. Okay, like so. I believe we've done everything else. It's cooking, I'm sure we did that before. We handled that in the other one. Okay, so we've done all of those. And set is on board is done as well, which is important. So we've done that. Now we can go to our bun bottom. The thing we're going to do is we'll make some slight changes in this check if can continue. Before we just let it, if we actually look here, should be cooked. On the true and the false, we just said it's okay. So basically, this will only fail if it's not valid. Okay, so we're gonna now make sure we are dealing with that correctly. So we're going to get our access to check. So let's start out here. Get our actor to check. Then we're going to run the get has been cooked or burnt message. We're going to just disconnect these, move these out of the way for a little while. We're going to run this off the true. Okay. Should it be cooked? If it's false and it's not cooked, we don't care. We can go ahead and say we can continue. Okay. If it should be cooked and it's not been cooked, then obviously that's a problem. We're trying to sell people raw food. We don't want to do that. So we're going to do branch. We're going to do it off of the should be cooked. Like so. We're also going to do another branch. Oh, sorry, has been cooked, not should be cooked. And we're going to do this from is burnt. So we're going to do some reroute nodes, like so. Has been cooked. So we're saying, okay, should be cooked. If yes, we're checking, has it been cooked? If no, then obviously that's no good. So we are going to return that as false. We can't add that ingredient. We get to this one. Has it been burned? We're going to need some more of these, so we're going to put them in here. If it's true, we don't want to be given burnt food, so we return false on that. If it's false, that's fine. So let's just go through that again. We're asking, should it be cooked? If it doesn't need to be cooked, we can return quite happily, that's fine. If it should be cooked, we're then checking, has it been cooked? If it's been cooked, sorry, if it's not been cooked, but it should have been cooked, we're returning false. We don't want to give raw food. We're also checking, is it burned? So from the true, has it been cooked? Yeah, we know it's been cooked, that's fine. But has it been burned? If it's true, it's been burnt, we fail. We don't give away burnt food. But if it's not burnt, in other words, it's perfectly okay, we can pass that through. And I believe that's all we need to do in that function. I don't think there's anything extra that I can remember. But now we've got to make the recipe up. Obviously, the game is all based upon recipes, or the mechanics. We're going to go to our data assets. And again, just like we did with the other ones, think about what it is you're doing. What is this one going to be similar to? What does it involve a lot of? Well, this one's going to be similar to a sandwich because essentially a burger is a sandwich. So what we're going to do is get a DAT sandwich. We're going to duplicate that and we're going to call it a DA cheese burger. Like so. We're going to put up our burger. And obviously we're going to have to change a few things. But it gives us a good base. So the ingredients we want, and I'm going to bring mine up because it just makes my life a little easier. I don't have to think. So the first thing we want is a burger bun. Yeah, the burger bun. We only want one. Make sure you change that to one. We're going to want a burger patty. Which is the raw burger. We're going to want a slice of cheese. And at the moment, so we've got, later on, we're going to be adding it so we can add condiments. Okay. We want to add those. We may need to now, so we've got that. The other thing we want to look at is our ingredient stack. We need to change this. Remember, we don't count the first item that's on the board. It's any item after that. So the next item on there here is going to be I'm going to choose raw. I don't know why I chose raw now. I think maybe we're not using the cooked one. Raw, slice of cheese, and then burger bun top. Okay. Item code we're not worried about. Obviously, we're going to need to change the mesh. And I believe I gave you that. It's okay, we don't really need the mesh, but let's find it anyway. Did I not import it? I thought I imported it. Let me just check. Ingredients, burger. No, I didn't. So I'm going to import it. I'm sure I put it in the asset pack. No, I didn't. Okay, bear with me. I need to export it from my other project, and I'll come straight back. Okay, I've gone ahead and imported it and added the textures. That will be in the asset pack. I've forgotten that one. So let's go back to GA Burger. Let's get a reference to where this is, just to make my life easier. And we can change that. Obviously, we need to change the name. It's no longer ham and cheese sandwich, so we're going to call it a cheeseburger. Burger, like that. I'm going to copy and paste because I'm in a lazy mood. Paste. We don't need anything in the description. We need to change this. So let's find where I put that. I did import the actual icon. And everything else stays the same. So now what we've got to work on is our instructions and our prep stages. Okay. So instructions on chopping board is fine. You want and patty, which we don't have. So we're going to need to go and add some things in here. So let's open up that enumeration now. So we're going to go to our data, our enums, structures. Oh, not structures, enums. And it's prep stages. So we're going to add a few more. We're going to say add patty. Another one we're going to say is, don't think I don't know. Add bun top. And I think that's all we need to do at the moment because we're not putting condiments on yet. That will be in another episode. I'm just finalizing that one now. So we're going to go back to here. So on chopping board is fine. Next thing we need to do is add patty. Add cheese is the next one. And this one is going to be add bun top. Package food, closed container complete is all fine. On chopping board is fine. It's going to be add patty. Slice of cheese is fine. This is going to be, we're going to change these in a moment, sorry. So it's going to be burger patty, and this is going to be, so let's start here. On chopping board, it's going to be on bottom. So the next one is going to be add patty. It's going to be burger patty. Add cheese. Slice of cheese is fine. Add bun top. It's going to be bun top. The rest remain the same. Obviously, we now need to add a few extra ones in here. And there's one I didn't put in the enum. Let me just double check the enum. Okay, so yes, we need to add another one. We're going to say cook patty. We're going to add split bun, but I'm not sure whether we're using it, but we're going to add it there anyway. And I think we've done add bun top. Yep, I think that's all we need. Go back and try again. This is just for our messages. Stage comments. So we need to put in one more. We need to change this to one. Let's put in one more. We need to say cook patty, and we can say cook the burger. Okay, and then we're going to add our none as well, and our none is just select order. Actually, no, we have another one, don't we? We have add patty. We also have add bun top. So add burger patty. Add bun top. And then we're going to copy and paste from here. And that should do us for that. Okay, so we now have that. That should show up in our recipes now. Make sure we go ahead and save everything. And I think it's time to test. Okay, let's give it a go. Obviously it's random, so let's see whether we actually get it up on our screen first. ham cheese sandwich, ham cheese sandwich. No, okay, I'm gonna, no. Cheeseburger. So now we've got a cheeseburger. You can select our cheeseburger. So let's see what we've got. So the first thing it should say is put ingredients on the table. Okay, which it has. So we need to make sure we take a burger bun. Oh, not the whole pack, just one. I'm going to bring it over here and drop it down here. Split the bun. Take the bun top off. Drop it over here, ready for when we want it. And we're going to put the burger bottom on here. Add burger patty. Okay, so it should be saying cooked burger patty, but I think I've missed that stage out. Okay, we'll put that. So let's carry on anyway, just so that we see what is right and what is wrong. Remove that breakpoint and that one. Turn up our grill. You see our burger's cooking. It's cooking very quickly because we've got it on short time, so we've got to keep an eye on it. Take it off before it burns. And drop the burger patty. Now you see we have a little bit of problem with the placement, but we'll deal with that in a moment. But it has added it. Add cheese slice. Again, the same thing. Okay. Add top bun. And the top bun's okay. So the problem we have at the moment is the cheese and the hamburger for some reason have gone below the burger. So we'll look into that. And also it's not telling us to cook the patty. The telling us to cook the patty is a relatively easy one. Didn't add it to I don't know why I didn't add it to. I thought I did. So really, this stage here should be cooked patty. This one then should be add patty. This should be add cheese. We need to add one more. This one should be add bun top. This one should be packaged food. This one should be closed container. And then this one should be completed. So we make sure we add it in here. So it's going to be cooked patty. This is your burger patty. This one's going to be add patty, which is now a burger patty. This one's going to be add cheese. This is now going to be slice of cheese. This one's going to be add bun top. This one's going to be bun top. We're going to add another one here. This one's going to be here. It's going to be packaged food. It's going to be none. Closed food container and completed. So that would solve those. We can just quickly check that. If we get the cheeseburger up fairly quickly. No, not in that one. What I will be doing, I think, because it's becoming a little bit harder to test it, I will add a little function that we can put it into a test mode and choose what the recipe is going to be. So we don't have to keep doing this, so we can test that each new recipe works. First ingredient on the board, so let's take a bun, drop it, split it, drop it, take this, cook the burger patty, there we go. We need to get a burger, well, we've got some over here, so let's cook a burger patty. So we know that should be correct anyway. Just want to run through it anyway. And then it's just a case of correcting the height. So let's take it off what burns. Okay. Right, okay, we haven't cleared the stage on here, so it doesn't know that we've done it. So that's going to cause a problem. Now it won't allow us to see it because it's wrong ingredient. So we know that our code's working, but we haven't cleared the stage. So we need to go into our blueprints, game items, appliances, grill. And we're going to do this where we remove it off the grill. I think it's the best place for that. So on this one here, we're going to say right at the end here, we're going to get our kitchen manager and say set stage complete. Now the only problem with doing this is it means we can only cook one burger at a time. So if you want to cook 2 burgers, then maybe that's something we've got to look at in the future. But for now, that should solve that problem. But while we're here, let's work out why is it not adding the ingredients to the correct point. So our spawn point is at the bottom if we look here, but our box is at the top. So that's why it's doing that. We want to move our spawn point to the top here. And we'll take any offset off the box. And that should be the same. That should solve those 2 problems. Let's try it. We get a cheeseburger. No, we don't. 3 cheese sandwiches. Yes, we do. Select cheeseburger. Put the first ingredient on the table. Take a bun. Drop the bun. Split the bun. It's all still working lovely. Pick up the bottom. Put it on our prep board. Cook the burger patty. Correct. I will think of a better way of doing the complete stage on here. Oh, I've burnt it now. You know I've burnt it. It's saying add a patty, which is correct. It's moved and saved, but it should not let me do this. So you can't add this ingredient because I've burnt it. So that's where there's a problem with the grill. Let's do it correct, and I will work on a solution for that. The other solution is not have cooked burger in the actual thing, and then we can. In fact, let's do that. Let's do that for now. Let's just remove the cook patty completely. And make sure you get the right one. Cook patty, delete. I'm going to remove the cooked patty from each of these. Delete. Let's make these 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I didn't number that last one there, did I? 7. And these are fine. Add patty. Okay. Let's remove it from there for now. I will work on a solution for that and come up with something. Or it might be fine just to leave it like that. You know, we know we have to cook the patty. If you can't put a raw one on, it will tell us anyway. So let's try it one more time. I'm more interested in getting this completed today. No. Yes. Because my computer doesn't like it when I'm not streaming and running 2 copies of Unreal 5. Just complain a little bit. Put on there, put that on there. Add the burger patties. So let's go ahead and cook one now instead of burning one. It would have been a mistake if I hadn't removed that first. What we could do is we could check if the burger is burnt. If it is burnt, then we don't move on the stage. We could do something like that. I will think about that one. Right, again. Cheeseburger, yes. Okay. Here we go again. Stop it. Stitch it. Pick the top up. Pick the bottom up. Drop it. Add the burger patty, correct. Let's go and cook one. Make sure we don't burn it. Like I say, you can change that time for your games. We've got our burger, add our cheese. The burger's now sitting where it should do. Cheese is correct. Get our burger on top. Ooh. And there we have a nice burger, which we can pick up and we can look. The cheese is still not quite right, so we'll check that on the burger. The burger could do going a bit lower. Okay, we can make these slight adjustments. The cheese is slightly inside the burger. So some of that could be down to collisions on the boxes. Some could be, I don't think it's collisions, I think it's down to spawn points. So let's look at why we've got that slight problem. And to do that, we need to open up our, we've already got our bomb bottom. We're going to open up our cheese slice. And we're going to open up our burger patty. Okay, so first of all, let's do a burger patty. I'm going to put it to a left or right or something like that, just so that we can see it more. I mean, I can see straight away that we're going to have a problem with that. Our spawn points there, our boxes there. So let's zero our box out. We're going to move our spawn point to there. We don't need the box that high, so we can maybe make that 2. In fact, you can also move the box up. The spawn point is the important one, which is there. Let's just check our bread bottom. Our spawn point is bang on there. I'm going to move the box up a little bit on this one because I do want the box to be above any food we put on there. And cheese slice, let's have a look at that. Again, I'm going to put it in the left or right. Easier for us to deal with. Ingredients spawn is way up there, look. That needs to come down. That's why our burger bun sitting a bit high above our cheese. And box, which we don't really use in this one, but that big either. Okay, so the important thing is the spawn point. Okay, so that should make a better looking burger. Let's try one more time. Oh, look, first time with the burger. Lovely stuff. Now, obviously, if you're testing this for your own game, you put yourself in a sensible place, not in the middle of halfway down the place. But here we go. Cook the burger. Burger patty on. Cheese on. Cheese is still going a bit low. So let's have a look. Okay, we've still got the same problem. Okay, I'm going to play around with that off camera and I'll come back and show you what I've done to fix it. And then we'll call it a day. In a moment. Okay, after a lot of playing around, a couple of hours later for me, but no time at all for you, I have sorted the problem. So here's what we have to do. I didn't realise it, but it was a problem that had been even on my practice game. There's been too much space between the ingredients. I thought I'd sorted that, but obviously I hadn't. So we're going to need to do some work in our BPP ingredients. And in our add new ingredient, we're going to make a new function. So we're going to call it set next spawn height. This is not spelled right. Again. Okay. And in this, we do need two inputs. So the first input is going to be ingredient to add. And that is of type BPP ingredients. Object reference. And another one is spawn point. Do I use a spawn point? No, we don't need a spawn point. We only need the one. Sorry, my apologies. I've just been doing a lot of jiggling around and gets to work. So in here, we get the ingredients to add. We get the items mesh, or the mesh. I think we call it base mesh in this project. So you get your base mesh. From there you get component bounds up in there. The box extent we split, take our Z, we multiply it by 2. We need a new variable, a general variable. We're going to call it spawn location or ingredient. Spawn location. And that is going to be a vector. We drag that one in. We split it. We take the output of there, we add to it the Z from here. Okay. We drag it back in again and set it. We make a vector. And the rest is 0, but we just set this to the Z height. And obviously don't forget to set it, neaten things up a little bit. Okay. Compile that. The other bit of a change that we have to do, well, we need to do is to set offset 1. Sorry, another new function. Yes, another new function. It's called set offset. This does need some inputs. It needs a spawn point. And that is of type scene component. And we also need ingredient reference on ingredient. And that is of type what is it? DA base. We get a spawn point and we say add local offset. So we use our calculate offset function, just like we do inside the code. And we do a little bit of changes on here. We simplify this an awful lot. Basically, we delete everything in here, including a local variable. We don't need that anymore. It shouldn't be because we calculate. We could rename, say, give, but that's fine. And we get our ingredient, and we, from here, we say get spawn offset location here, and we simply return that. That simplifies that quite a lot. So we've made those two. So now in our add new ingredients, we make some changes here. So first we'll drag this back. We drag in our set new spawn height here. Ingredient to add goes in here. And you can drag off of here and type in ingredient to add to get that. Move that back a little bit. Okay, that is the same. This is the same. Here we can delete all of this. We're not going to be using it. Let's just plug that one back in before I forget. Also delete that local variable LR. So we've got our name. We've got this. Let's drag that lot in to meet there. Zoom back in. We've got here, we've done our checks. This is still fine. This is still fine. Then instead of this, add a local offset here. We can delete that and we use our new function. This does basically the same thing, set offset in here. Like so. We put the spawn location in here and we get our local ingredient, our LDA ingredient. Like so. We also get a fresh copy of the spawn point here because we've changed its location. Okay, can't find it, so copy and paste it. Then this remains the same. This remains the same. This is deleted. We don't need this anymore. This is moved to here. And this moves back now. And after the stage complete, we get our spawn here. And we say add local. Oh, hang on, we need to get our spawn point again. There. We say add local offset again. Okay. Which is this new offset here, like so. The other thing you must be careful with is in our data assets, we have them set correctly. So we go to our items, say to our food. So we're going to open up everything that we're going to use. So the bread we have set up okay. The burger bun we don't need, the bottom we don't need, the burger bun top we do need. And we need to set a bit of an offset on here. And I've done that to -2. I found work for me. You could just play around with it until you get it so that it sits straight. And just make sure burger has 0, raw burger. Make sure there's nothing in here to throw it off. Slice of cheese. Okay. Slice of ham, because it's also affecting the other one, that's fine. And bread, should have its offset already. So you should be fine on that. So let's go ahead and give it a go. Let's hope we get a cheeseburger fairly quickly. Not on that attempt. Yes, we got one here. So, yeah, cheeseburger. Put first ingredient on the table. So let's get. Oh, I know. I'm cooking quickly on here. We need a bun. Here we've got our cheese here. That's nice. Bit of bun. Drop it. Drop our burger on there. Our bun on there, I should say. And we're going to cook our burger. Ready to take it off because it only cooks in 10 seconds in the video. Went to green, that's fine. Drop it down. That's on there. Add a slice of cheese, great. That's on there. Add the bun top on there. Now, if we pick the bun up now, you see everything pretty well lined up. So there's still a bit of a gap on that burger bun, so I could drop that down a little bit more. Just play around with it till you get it till you're satisfied. And I also found it was affecting the cheese, the sandwich as well. So let's just do the sandwich. Oh, come on, game. We should have everything we need for the sandwich here. So we get a slice of bread, stick it on there, slice of ham, stick it on there, slice of cheese on there, bread on there. And again, if you look at it now, we're pretty well matched up. So you could drop that top one down just a tiny bit because it's still upsetting the spawn point of the base. So you can just drop that down a little bit if you wanted to. So just to show you, let's go ahead and do that. So yeah, bread. We could set this to say -2. Like I say, play around with the figures. If it's too much, then back again. If it's not enough, do it again. We get a sandwich. No, get a burger though. We get a sandwich. Come on, let's have a sandwich. Okay, for sure the next video is going to be a little test function that we're going to add in to the order system so that we can lock it into whatever recipe we're testing. So we haven't got to keep going through all of this, all of the menu not choosing the one that we want. Okay, so we drop this down a little bit. Let's see how we get on with that. If we look up now. Okay, that's dropped the cheese down for some bizarre reason. Okay. I'm sure I did bread. Didn't do anything to ham. Didn't do cheese. I did do the bread. Okay, so let's not drop that down then. It seems to have dropped the cheese down. I shouldn't have done. It's not reading that one. But you get the idea. You just play around with this figure till you get that right. And fine. If I find a slightly better solution in between now and the next video, I will add that into the next video. Anyway, I'm going to call it here today. This video's been a little bit long, but we've now got a cooking burger. We can make sandwiches, we can make burgers, so we can extend our menu. So next video, I'm going to do a little function so that we can hard code a test recipe. So we can ignore the auto recipe. Won't take much to do. And we can bypass the selected recipe. So we'll do that so that we can test things easier going forward. And then, depending on how long that takes, I think, we'll do something nice. We'll make like a simple rubber spin, which is very easy to do. I'll show you how to do that. And I'll show you again how to add different types of storage, because we need storage for our cups and for our food boxes. So I'll show you how to add those also. If you've been following along, I'm sure you'll be able to work that one out yourself, but I'll show you anyway. And then after that, I think we're going to get into some nitty-gritty of some different type of mechanics, or it may well be a menu manager and a save system. I'll see how I feel at the time. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. And if you liked it, don't forget to hit that like, subscribe if you're not already subscribed, hit the notification bell for the next one. And if you don't like it, that's fine, but tell me why, but keep it polite, please. If you really like my work, consider joining my Patreon or buying me a coffee. Every little helps towards the upkeep of equipment. If you have any problems or difficulties or queries about anything in any of my series, join my Discord, send me a DM, or put a comment. I do try to read every single comment and every single DM in Discord. See you in the next one. Bye.